Finally, let's look at this formula, y equals mx plus c, and define each one of its variables as well. All right, so let's rewrite this formula right here. Y is equals to mx plus c. So let me rewrite that. Y is equals to mx plus c. So remember that when we discuss coordinates x, y, remember we're seeing the same thing in our formula. Y corresponds to where on the y-axis, and x corresponds to the x-axis. But now let's look at this. Let's look at this m. What does this m mean? Now, when we look at the line, we can see that our line almost travels at an angle. And now this angle or this slope is what we call our gradient. And this gradient is depicted as m. So m refers to the gradient. And c, this c right here, is what we call the y-intercept. Now the y-intercept is basically where on the graph does the line crosses the y-axis. So now let's look at this. Let me draw a graph for you guys. So we draw a graph. This is your 0 point. Here is 1. Here is 2. Here is 1. Here is 2. So now what if we had a line that crosses, for example, through this point right here? Remember, a line extends in both directions indefinitely. So what if we had a line that crosses through here? This one would be your y-intercept. So your y-intercept, which is with this y-intercept, which is c, would be equals to 1. All right. So this is all for this first video. In the next video, we'll be going over more on the gradient and how to actually solve for the gradient. So just want to thank you guys for listening to the first installation of this show. Hopefully you guys will leave your feedback and honestly just tell us ways on ways we can improve, if the concepts are being brought to you guys properly, if you guys would like anything in it, for example, any more subjects, any more topics to be covered, specific topics you guys need help on, just so anything in general. So thank you once again for listening, and hopefully in the next video we'll go over the we'll actually be going over the gradient in the next video and explaining the y-intercept in a little bit more detail. Thank you.